to another video, well, live. In this live, I want to talk about signs of a narcissistic parent and how they like to live their lives through their children, even their adult children. But they also like to live through their teenagers. And I just wanted to speak about this from what I see online with a narc parent who I'm very familiar with, and how this person has a lot of people fooled on social media. Like they could have a lot of people fooled on social media by posting everything about their kids' accomplishments and, with them playing sports and everything. But when it comes to really showing up and being there, that's the part that you're not going to see unless they use it as a photo op. Then you're going to see them, posting pictures of them being at the game or whatever in support of the kid. But when it comes to not being there, like the time when they were an absent parent for their kid, and they know that there's no way that they can go back and make up for lost times. What they do is use this self-validation, method as by trying to get people to believe on social media that they were there the whole time. So it's always easier for them to just kind of go back into history and cherry pick the things that made them look like a good father. Like they love to post pictures when the kids were babies, just things that maybe they could use that, like, where you were too young to remember, but I was there. But they fail to realize that the other parent could tell the child the truth. And I'm pretty sure they know that it happens. But again, they put this on social media because they need that audience that's going to believe what they put on there. And that's what I just kind of wanted to talk about, like confronting the narc parent when it comes to the false advertisement as being a parent that was just so active and involved. And there are some parents that um they were good providers, make sure the kid has clothes on their back, food in their mouth, roof over their head, you know, all the necessities. But when it came to being a parent that knew how to show the child support, just being a good support system, being loving and caring, that's where they lack. They don't really know what they're doing when it comes to parenting. So they have to get on social media and pretend like, oh, yeah, I was all that. I did all that. And when it comes to questioning that, I don't feel like you shouldn't, because it takes away from the parent who did everything. Now, I wouldn't do it on social media. I'm not saying get on social media and clown with your baby daddy and confront them in the front of everybody and be like, you didn't do all that. But the thing about it is, because people that really know, they know who was the real one behind, the kids. Like the real parent, not just the one who showed up when things looked good for them to take pictures and post it and brag about it. And I went through that, so I could speak on it firsthand. I went through it. I did it all by myself. I did the hardest parts. But just looking back at it and knowing what you did by yourself makes it, so much better, knowing not only you did it by yourself, but you didn't have to front, and you didn't ask for help. You did not ask for help. You didn't fuss and fight about it. You didn't run them down. Like, you did what was necessary to let them know, as long as you are able to help, I'm going to see to it that you will help. But I'm not going to ever try to force you to be something that you're just not willing to be. And that's where I was with it, with the parents, the co-parenting with a narc. And all the way up until my kids' adulthood, it's like, they still try to pull off their false image of saying that they were going so hard behind their kids. And if it's not that, they do this other thing to where, because a lady told me this happened. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but a lady told me a long time ago. I remember my children were young, small, like 1, 2, 3 years old. And I was catching a public transportation. So as I'm on the bus, it's just so hard. It's like you can't control, you just don't know how things are gonna be. Some days gonna be easier than others. And that day just so happened to be a hard day because it's raining, it's cold. You got bags of groceries. You got two small kids. You got one in a stroller, on your hip. The other one, they barely walking. And I'm not blaming nobody because I had to, I had my children back to back. It's just the thing that the person who promised to be there, they showed a whole different thing from what they had promised. They did a whole turnaround and they were not there. So I had to do it on my own. And the lady on that bus, that lady, she seen how overwhelmed I was and just like broken down. And she seen me crying and she was looking at me. And it was just me, her, and the driver, the bus driver. And the lady was sitting across. I'll never forget that lady face. And she had said, it's going to get better. And she was like, it's going to get better. And I remember that just made me start crying. She said, I'm sorry to make you want to cry more. It's going to get better. And then as I was approaching my stop, it stopped raining. I'm not going to say the sun was shining, but it stopped raining. And when I got off the bus, I just kind of felt what she was saying. I really felt it. And, that kind of stuff really helped me to keep going, which I was going to do anyway, no matter what. Like I say, it was bad days, but it was also some good days as far as parenting by yourself. But the narc parent want to show up when they want to show up. And they will do it when the children are adults. And when the children start to have children of their own. What they want to do is show off their life. They want to show off, you know, when my son moved away for a while, not for long, not even a whole year, to do some work out of state, upstate. And it's just like he needed to get the clout off that. He wanted everybody to know what he doing. Like, what is that doing for you by advertising? Like, what about his safety? Like, why don't you ever think that it's not your place to announce every move they make and everything they are doing with their life? And so I start to tell my children, y'all have the right to set boundaries with your parents, including me. If it's things that you feel like, I don't want that out there yet, or don't announce that or don't post it on social media yet, you have the right to tell me that. And I need to respect it. It's all about respect. It doesn't matter if I am your mother. And a lot of parents, they feel, even if they're not narcissistic parents, they feel so entitled to just do as they please by their children because I had you. I never felt like that. I just never felt like that. Um, my children know they have their freedom and everything, but with him, it's like I had to remind them how they can set boundaries with him and that they need to, because if you want a private life, you have the right to have your privacy, and you have to let him know. So my daughter, she just don't play no games and let him know, off the rip what it is. And that's where he would take the issue. He would go to social media, he would throw up his subliminals and blame me, like, for being the battery in her back, being in her ear. And I'm like, I don't care, because I'm telling her what she needs to know. If you feel some type of way, then that's on you. Handle it the best way you can, or get over it. Either way it go. I did that. What are you gonna do? And so that's that. And she made peace of it in that way. And my son is kind of starting to get like that. But with him, it's a lot of, nah, he don't bother me. But I'm like, but make sure you're able to know the difference between whether he's not bothering you because you've gotten used to him having his way with doing certain things, and that like it's not bothering you because you want him to do it, because you have the right to stop it. It's your life and you advertise it as you please and how you want to. So yeah, but I noticed that about narc parents and how they like to separate. In other situations, not mine, they like to keep their children separated, and they raise them that way to where they don't really know each other. Now, I was in a relationship with somebody who didn't really have that close bond with their siblings. They knew more of them than knew them. And they had already just made peace of it till like I was even, I was sent away to live somewhere else a while. And that kind of even created more separation between us, more distance. And they just learned to live with that as the normal because that's all they ever knew. I mean, they had no control of it anyway because they were coming up in that situation. So parents, they do that kind of stuff. Narc parents, they have so much control over you since you were a child that they feel entitled to still have a lot of say so in your adult life. And even in your relationships, they want to have say so. They want to tell you what to do, who you should be with. I even remember when someone tried to, she was trying, and he ended up telling me that, and he told me like when they were into it, they wasn't seeing eye to eye because, of course, she couldn't control him like she always felt like she should do. He ended up telling me she was trying to get me, she was trying to introduce me to someone else, and that's why she pretended like she needed me to help her. She needed a boost off from her job because her and her husband had split. But for some reason, she still felt like she can call that man to be there whenever she wanted him. Whenever she wanted to be bothered with her ex-husband, he was still there. He would still show up. But when she didn't want to be bothered because she got enough of supply off of him, that's when she go to her adult children, her sons. So she would depend on them. And then a lot of times, children are going to be there for their parents, especially a boy. They're going to be there for their mama. And she called them for to give her a boost off from work, which she did not really need. And she told them, she was like, oh, I thought that this and that was wrong. Oh, okay, I see. It ended up starting before you got here. So, but anyway, while you here, you know, I want you to meet such and such. She a young girl. She just started working here, and she do this and she do that. And I'm like, because she didn't know what was going on in our relationship because we were private. She just felt the need to pry and assume that, and it's still that she knew what was going on, but it still went back to the fact of um I wouldn't allow it, even if he, would introduce the idea of my mom wants to do this and do that, but if you ain't feeling it, I ain't feeling it, and he would respect that. He didn't want it anyway, though. But that was just his way of, you know, letting me take the charge for it. But because, when you got that narc parent, a lot of, their children are afraid to stand up to them and tell them no. And then they kind of feel like, well, I'm not doing that because it's disrespectful. They have that mindset that it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to tell them no, that you don't want to do something. I don't know. I lost my mama as a teenager, so. But even before I lost my mom, she was not like that. I'm thankful I didn't have to grow up in a narcissistic household environment, parent, none of that. Um, so yeah, so they do all type of things to get involved, stay involved, and take control. And the moment you take that ability away from them, that's when all hell gonna break loose. You gonna see them act like they just regret even having you, you know. And like I mentioned in the video I did earlier, they will disown you. They will just tell you, don't show up to the Christmas dinner. You don't have to come by the house. They will tell you, don't even show up in my funeral. And I know, I seen text messages of a mom telling her son, "Don't show up to my funeral," and that's crazy. Because a year later is she when she passed. But the thing about it is, you know, what they like to do is just make you feel guilty because you won't let them take over. They narc parents got that strong takeover spirit, you know. And again, I dealt with it firsthand on my own, you know, the co-parent. Back then, we don't co-parent no more 'cause children grown. But what else? Oh, and the last thing I want to mention, I know. So he had outside children, and they have children. They're grown, you know. But it's just the idea that they've done so much in their past. They love, narcissists love to just sweep everything under the rug and pretend like that their past don't exist if it doesn't make them look good. If they don't have a squeaky clean image, then, you know, it didn't happen. And they live in denial that way till they forget that their children know some things that they did. But they love to pass judgment, but they can't take it. They could dish it, but they can't take it. And so that's the type of relationship that he'd have with his other children or whatever. And I don't even want to really go into that. But the thing is, my daughter was like, I'm not letting him see my child until I'm good and ready. And she 4 months. And I think he haven't seen her but twice. And she finally decided to like, and not even in person, like on FaceTime for a few minutes. And one time he popped her to her house and she turned him around. I mean, when I tell y'all she said boundaries, she did. Because she's like no nonsense with anybody, narc or not. She not going to deal with something that she don't feel like she have to. And so, you know, and so what happened was he ended up, she sent him a picture, and before she said, and don't post it, he could not wait to put the picture on social media. And say the stupidest stuff, something that I hate to see. I don't like when people say my grand princess. Like he loved to use that title for grandbabies. And he put on there my grand princess. And my daughter hate that. She was like, take it down. Take it down right now because I not give you permission to post that. Why do you always have to take everything to social media? I don't want her pictures on there yet. See, and that's why you can't see her nine stuff. So he hurry up and took it down and everything. And then his sister called my daughter because they close. And she was like, I understand he could be aggravating. That's my brother. I love him, blah, blah, blah. But I would wish that y'all would just sit down and talk. And, you know, my daughter was like, yeah, we could talk, but it ain't going to be no getting through to him. And my daughter not really well versed on narcissism. Like, no matter how long I've been speaking on it, all these years, she not into it as much as my son. Like he know. That's why I just be like, remember, I have to remind him if anything, because he have the most targets on his back like me. My daughter don't. Um, but it's just like, I gotta remind him the most. You have the right to set boundaries now, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to really talk about on here. See some of the chat saying, hey boy, 18. Oh, it's morning where you at? No, I'm in, yeah, I kind of got it dark because my hair is not done. I started on it, I'm not really, it, it don't matter if I'm in the dark. Don't worry about it. You know what I look like. But I'm in Louisiana and it is 8:20 at night. Yeah. Ghost Warrior said, facts same here. It's strange from everybody because they evil. They are evil liars. Funny, it took a strange to completely heal. Truth teller, hey Felicia, do you think that? Oh no. And I was just thinking about the Cowboys. I was like, I'm on TikTok. I love doing my little TikToks. That's my rare form from here. Like that's a whole different type of comedy. So if y'all like to be on TikTok, I'm on there. What is my name on there? Let me see. I want y'all to go. I was just looking at because y'all probably already on there. Oh, I know it's probably gonna be backwards. Only, only one Felicia for real. Go check out my TikToks if you want to see what I look like. I just don't feel like being in the light right now, and I'm waiting on some Chipotle so I could eat and get in the bath and go to bed. Yeah, ghost words. Sometimes tough love requires tough conversations to wake our family up from bad habits. Right. That's right. Because I have to constantly remind my son, look, speak up. Like he have a heavy heart. He is so much me and his personality and character is so much alike. And it's like my daughter, let me see how to put it. Like both of them look like their dad. But she look like him in her complexion. But she don't act like him. It's just like she just got this mental toughness and she's no nonsense. Like, and I just love that about her. Like I admire that about her because it's like I could grow and learn from that with her. Like how you do it and do you worry about hurting people's feelings? And then I learned that well, it's always a way to approach a person. You can always use a gentle approach, and you won't hurt somebody's feelings. Now, after that, it's on them. They choose to take something a certain way, because it ain't all about in intentions like intentionally hurting somebody's feelings. Some people are like that, but I'm not. Like I'm always think about how it's gonna make them feel. I always think about that. How it's gonna make them feel if I say that. That's why I'm so hesitant, even when I come before y'all, because I gotta collect my thoughts and make sure, okay, that ain't gonna sound right. A lot of times when I'm pre-recording, it's so many takes. Like y'all just don't know it. Sometimes it took up to 20 something tries before all right, you know, post it because I just wanted to sound right. I wanted to be, to where it don't come off the wrong way, you know. Yeah, David, 80. Oh, you going to bed? Well, good night. Yeah, it's just 8:24 here. David, hi. How are you doing? No, I ain't getting married no time soon. I thought I wanted to get married a few years ago. I was really tripping. I had failed too hard. Yeah, that's what it was. I failed too hard. I hit my head too hard. I thought that's what I wanted. And I think because I went like 10 years single and celibate, like some people just say I've been celibate. I really was. And I was, it was like when you get that good thing again, you just ready to jump in it because that's what you've been missing for so long. I thought I was, but I wasn't because it was just that person was not for me at the time. And we are still acquainted, but as far as a relationship, it's just not for me. It's not for me and that person together at the time. And I don't even want to get off into that. I was talking about narcissistic parents. So if y'all have anything to add to that, what are y'all thoughts on it before I end this live? Because y'all know I don't go no more than 30 minutes. But it is very necessary. That might be my food. Yeah, they picking it up. And I don't even like to eat this late. I've been losing weight though, unintentionally, but I've been losing weight. I think I only been eating like once a day. And I just had some turkey and gravy and rice earlier. Didn't eat much of that, and I had a boiled egg. I boiled two, but one of them exploded, and I'm like, I was running my mouth that much. And then my dog, she let me know, because I'm like, and then you hearing the egg boiling closer to the bottom of the pot. I'm like, let me get up, go in here. And I went in the kitchen. One of them already exploded. So yeah, that's all I pretty much wanted to speak on. Um, Dealing with the narc parents, and just letting them know that you don't have to pretty much follow their rules anymore. I'm grown, I'm gone, I'm on my own, and you don't control me. You have to let them know it in a nice, sweet way, and but I love you, you know. But there's no way of telling that to my children, that. And yeah, I'm talking about them. What he gonna do? It's the truth. Um, because he has another son, not by me. Um, and this child is going places. He's been drafted in a college football and everything, and I'm just so happy and proud of him and everything. Like, he just doing so good. Now his mother's deceased, and you know, he just lived through that child and pushed him and pushed him and pushed him. Because I won't be surprised if he really didn't want to do a lot of things that he was pushed into. Because you know how you can read a child, you can see through things. And I know that this child, like, you could see the sadness and like, they're when they're drained because they've been pushed so much to do something that they really didn't want to do, but because it looked good to their parent, they went on and did it, because they know the parent has already put in their mind that it's all about pleasing me. Don't you want to please me? Don't you want me to be happy? I mean, I'm already alone. I lost your mom. And my other kids, they don't come around. Like, they really put that in their other kids' mind to make them feel guilty to go ahead through with something that they really didn't want to do. That's the type of mind games they play with their own children. And so I see it happen a lot. And that child is going places. And I just hope that he starts to feel free and do everything that pleases him, because that's what he genuinely wants, not because he feel like he owe it to anybody. He does not owe anything to anybody. Yes, his dad took care of him because he had no other choice. I mean, his mother had passed. Um, and then on top of that, again, you know, it's easier for them to do that part of the job. But when it comes to the love and the genuine support and still giving them the freedom that they need, you still got to give those kids freedom. You can't just shelter them to the point to where you expect them to just be everything you need them to be so that you can feel happy, because they will never really fulfill you. You can't ever please a narc. You will never please a narcissist. They're going to always need a little bit more out of you. And like I say, they will push and push and push. And when they have, like when there's golden children within a family, those are the ones, like, you might have three other children. They might put them through public school. But that golden child, oh, they're going to give them the top-notch school. They're going to put them private school. They're going to pay so much money, because that's the golden child. That's the one that they're really looking forward to put on a pedestal and to show off like a trophy to everybody. A lot of time they live their life through that child. And then there's the scapegoat, the one who always get the shortest end of the stick, the one who always the most forgotten, the one who was given away for a while. Like, I know I'm saying too much, but that's the one that's really gonna grow up to end up outshining everyone else in the house, exposing everything. Gonna give them the parents even a run for their money and call them out, you know, and expose how they were brought up. And that is the thing that they don't expect to happen. They be so into the moment of just really not even giving a damn. They do not care how it affects their children, as long as it makes them look good. As long as it makes them look good. And I remember a long time ago, and I'm about to get off of here because my food about to come. Um, they used to have this saying like because my mama used to say this about one of my aunts. She used to say that the one that she do the most for, the one that can't do no wrong, the one that she thinks is more than her other children, is the one that's gonna break her heart. And that's how it ended up being a lot of the time. And they don't break their heart because they end up breaking their heart because not only you spoil them so much, you made them think that you can't tell them wrong. I mean, you can't tell them no. You know, that they're entitled to have whatever they want. You spoil them. And sometimes you make them narcissists. They grow up to become that way. Even if you're not a narc, you can, raise your kid up to be one. And they grow up to be that way. And it takes them to have to lose a lot and go through life and see that it don't go that way in order for them to get the reflection that they need, to kind of, just like check themselves, like what made you that way, and then they'll realize. But then at the same time, you can't grow up and blame your childhood for stuff because if you, okay, now you see what caused it, so you can break that habit. You can break it and you can be different. You can be brand new. You can set a better example for your own children. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead on and end this live. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Um, if y'all catch it late, thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.